Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Uncle Shug's Corner. I'm your neighborhood uncle, Uncle Shug, coming to you today from Birmingham, Alabama. Really appreciate you tuning in with us. We're going to talk about a lot of things here that concerns us and working together. All right. As a community, we have to get back to working together so we can create things like Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street came together as a community, worked as a community, and made an impact, an economic impact in our community. And I believe if we can get back to that mindset, work together, we can really get things done here in America, in spite of all the obstacles that we have to navigate. Um, we're returning to respect amongst one another within our culture and our community, respecting one another, loving one another, working together with that sense of pride. It takes all those components to be successful within the community and move forward without fear. Two things have to be in place. That's we remove fear and we replace fear with trust. Trust one another and we move forward. Trust God and we move forward. And in moving forward, we remember that we're all created by God and we are all empowered as a result of that. And once we get back to the understanding that we are already empowered to not just be who we are, but move accordingly, we can get some great things accomplished again, even with the obstacles in our way out here. Um, I believe that when the man and the woman come together, there's empowerment in that. There's power in that. And when we get back to that mindset, and not the mindset of separation where, the thought is, well, I've got mine, you get yours. That's a loser's mentality. Let's get back to doing the things together. It starts in our homes. Build the family, build the confidence within the family, and understand the path that we're on with the same common goal in mind towards success, whatever success looks like for you. There are many different roads to travel to success, but at the same time, we also have to concentrate and focus on the path, and we do that as a collective, collectively as a family, and then we move forward. When I think about that, I think about the Section 8 model. I'm saying this because I've been in real estate for 30 years. My father was a real estate guy that traveled and navigated all the obstacles and still was a success in spite of all of that. That, along with my mother being right there beside him to encourage him. I come from a family of seven. My parents were able to do that, and not just believe, I know that success can be found, and it can be found corporately when we come together as a community. So, really excited about that conversation and about the reunion within our community. We can come together to be reunited, place a vision before us, understand the path, and lean on one another as we go on that path to whatever success is for us. Understanding that optimism is like air. It doesn't matter which way the wind blows. That happens in life. The question is, what is our response going to be? As Black people in America, we're all climbing the same mountain. Sometimes we just don't see one another because our brother or sisters on one side, and I'm on the other side along with those that's helping me. But it's really a very similar struggle, but we can win even with the struggle. Our forefathers did. Shout out to our forefathers. Always great respect, and will always clarify that our forefathers, I mean this specifically, our Black forefathers that endured a lot of things along the way so that a person like myself and you can do things like this. We can speak on it and put together a plan and really march forward. But we need to do it collectively and understand the power of togetherness. That's what we need to get back to in the community. Also, because I'm a real estate guy, I think about what Section 8, the Section 8 format, how it's devastated our families. And it's also brainwashed us. One of the first criteria 1A with Section 8 housing is that a man can't be in the house. Okay, and for all your sisters out there with children that live in Section 8, we have to get back to understanding exactly what's going on, and when we are being brainwashed or manipulated by the system itself. I'm going to put it out there in the open. Section 8, the first thing they do is remove the husband, the daddy, the man from the house. Section 8, the federal government, what that means is they just separated your family. Half of your income just walked out of the door, or whatever percentage. And also the efforts and that collective effort to keep the family on track and build something, it really gets weakened right out of the gate when we apply for that Section 8 voucher. But so before you do that and before you lean into that, think about the value of your husband, your wife, your children. Think about the overall value, and what you're going to find is that the absolute value of what you and your husband or loved one can do collectively has absolutely more value than the number that's on that Section 8 voucher. Because that Section 8 voucher does not represent a quality of life that you would like to live. So if we can reshuffle our mindsets regarding that, we can move forward. But it does take unity and cooperation amongst us as the adults. We can do these things. We have to change the narrative. We are empowered to not just change the narrative that's been pinned on us as Black people, but to create our own narrative like Black Wall Street. Black Wall Street existed because of a collective Black community effort. Once we get back to that and understand where the pitfalls are in the institutionalized system, we can find our way to success. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy because the winds of life blows on everyone. But collectively, as we go through whatever storms may show up, we get closer together and we cover one another during the storm. That's how we win. So I'm excited to continue in this open dialogue. We're going to dive deep into this because there are some things that we're going to be talking about here at Uncle Shug's Corner about what we also have to navigate out there as Black people. There's right now there's a narrative that's going on where it's looking like Black men and Black women are pitted against one another. And we have to recognize that when we are being manipulated and separated, together we stand, divided we fall. So when we see those manipulations, that's when we come together, close the doors at our home, and have these types of conversation. Having knowledge of real estate, I'm also going to reveal how to go out and create your own real estate empire, if you will. Okay, there is a formula out there on how to flip properties and things of that sort. Been doing it for years. There's a pattern out there. No one's going to walk up to you and give you the process, but Uncle Shug is, because as our young men and women, as they come of age, 18, 19, 20 years old, not everyone is set to go to college and in a sense get miseducated in the American school system. In a sense, get miseducated. And we must be mindful of that as well. As my mother taught us, Carter G. Woodson's book, The Miseducation of the Negro. So what we're going to do here at Uncle Shug's Corner, similar to Uncle Tom's Cabin, we're going to put the knowledge out there and we're going to teach one another not how to just survive, but how to thrive. That's what we're here for. There's nothing wrong with being proud Black Americans here in America. We have a lot to be proud of. The foundational Black Americans. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Again, I thoroughly enjoy his courage, his power to stand up and really be unapologetic in his approach. There have been a lot of great foundational Black Americans throughout American history that were written off. But now we live in a time where we can get to our own history, and it's upon us to keep telling our own history. Not only to keep telling it, but to also keep creating our own history. History is being written right now. Black history is being made right now by you and me. So if we're aware that we're making history right now, let's be mindful of our steps. Let's be intentional in our approach. Let's be courageous in our efforts. And let's do it collectively in love, honor, and respect one to another. Black man to Black woman to Black man. And I say it that way because that's how our families are built. It starts right there. So let's get back to those fundamentals and not let the superficial world fool us, paint us these pictures that's all smoke and mirrors. We can choose not to engage and indulge in that brainwashing process. Nothing in life is given. We have to work for it and earn it. We all know this in America, especially as Black people. So what's going to happen is the return of respect, the return of honor. We're no longer thugging. That trick is over. What we're doing now, we're moving forward at a high point of intelligence as Black people, at a high point of respect as Black people. We no longer walk around intimidating one another. We live in a country where our people have been dominated, intimidated, and incarcerated. But we live in a time now where we are aware of these things, so we navigate those potholes together. We're at a time now where Pookie and Ray Ray, that mentality has to go away. And we look at one another and with honor and respect for one another. And when we respect one another, we also show a respect for our forefathers, our Black forefathers and mothers that stood in the rain and withstood the pain for us all. We have to get back to honoring that. When we honor that, it makes us better people. I'm not opening this dialogue as a direct conversation about race. It's really about the overall picture of what we can do as foundational Black Americans. And that also includes the biracial community, because we know here in America there's a biracial community out there where they're not black enough on one side of the street and they're not white enough on the other side of the street. But who they are is not their fault. So we square our shoulders and we walk forward with pride and dignity, understanding the pitfalls, the potholes, the manipulations here in America, and we get to work. Back to the real estate piece, I've got some information that I'm going to be putting out there on how to flip real estate. Yes, I'm giving it away to our community because those of our children that aren't built for college, as I said earlier, they absolutely can get out here and make a strong living for them and their families. But it's going to take trust for them to do it. I'm going to be putting that information out there freely, and we'll go out here and make a good living and start building our next Black Wall Street. It's very real. We work collectively. It absolutely can be done. Stay tuned. Uncle Shug's got a lot more information for you. Really appreciate your time.